Hello everybody. You might be wondering why we're looking at the sky right now. Well, there's a reason. I have bought a car. I bought my first car. I purchased it on the 17th of July, which was a Saturday. Drove to Bay City to get it, and it's here. Those of you who follow me on Facebook and or Twitter know what it is because I already showed it on there, but if you don't, this is your first time seeing it. So I'm going to pan down. Here we go. Here it is. This is a 1995 Chevrolet Monte Carlo LS in torch red. Just purchased it, like I said. And this is my car. I own it. As you can see, it's in beautiful shape. There's no rust on it whatsoever. This car was in Arizona for a lot of its life. Here's a look at the back of the car. I'm not going to bother covering the license plate because that doesn't belong to me. The previous owner left his on. This sticker. It's the LS trim, so it's not the exciting one, being the Z34, but you know, it has the nice rims. And if you can't tell, this thing is basically a two-door Lumina. I mean, it just is. But it's beautiful. And like I said, no rust on the quarter panels at all. Everything is solid. It is not rusty because every single one of these you see that's been up here its whole life is rusted to pieces. So anyway, I'm going to give you a tour of it and a start up. So to start with, well, here are the keys. I have both sets of keys and both remotes. This car is the preferred package, so it came with remote start and keyless entry from the factory. This is the set of keys I've been using because it's a little more worn out, but it does have all of the original keys and the key remotes. I haven't been using the fob just because I don't prefer them. I like to unlock the doors manually, but I'll use them for this video. Hit unlock once, and the parking lights blink, or rather the turn signal indicators, and it unlocks all the doors. So, come around here. Oh, one thing, these tires are brand new as of the 18th of July. They are Bridgestone Ecopia tires. I purchased them because the tires that came on this vehicle were Goodyear Eagles, and they were from 2003. They were extremely dry rotted, and this one, this is, just so you know where it is, actually blew out on the way home on the side of I-69 in 3 places. 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, and it was totally destroyed. So we pulled over, put the spare on, grannied it home, and got tires the next day. So these tires are brand new as of yesterday, and today is the 19th as I'm recording this. Oh, before we go inside, I have one thing to show you. This is the original window sticker. 1995 Monte Carlo LS Coupe 3.1 V6, standard equipment, fuel economy. Standard vehicle price was $16,000. This is the LS Preferred. You can see this is all the options it has, and it retailed for $19,795 back in the day. There's an interesting quirk. Because this was made in 1995, it says Chevrolet Geo. But anyway, let's go inside. It does have a little bit of, you know, beauty marks, but it's not rusty. And here is the door panel. See, it's in good shape. This is not broken. That's how it came from the factory. Both sides do it. Wood trim, power windows, power locks. And here is the interior. You can see it's got a black leather interior. It's a little scratched, a little marked. I'm going to get seat covers. Actually, I have some for it. Now, the other modification I did besides the tires, and this is more of a personal choice, I took off the little plastic loops that go under the headrest and sit here to hold the seatbelt closer in place. I think they're stupid and useless, and I don't like them, so I just took them off. You just have to take the headrest off and slide the washers down. It's difficult to do, but once you do it, it looks good. The driver's seat is powered, you can see. And then what this does here, this is for the back adjustment. I'll show you what it is. So since this is a coupe, the seats come forward to get into the back seat. However, they actually don't lock in place on either side. This is factory. However, if you get into an emergency or a crash, they will lock in place, but standard they don't. They just sit. That lever, when you pull it up and the seat will come forward. Then, it's hard to do, but that's how you recline the seat, and then it stops there. However, I'm going to tip it up a little, and there we go. This car only has 82,000 miles on it, and yes, that is the actual mileage. 82,000. That's the trip odometer. You can reset it. I have it set since when I got gas. Car gets about 20 miles per gallon city, 30 highway if you're lucky. Basic cluster. Steering wheel, which has an airbag. This car has dual airbags, one there, one there. But anyway, I know you want to see it start up, so we will do that. Alright, here we go. I'm looking through the camera. Like I said, 82,000 miles. And here we go. It idles perfectly. Listen to the horn. It's an old school Chevrolet horn. Both of the windows are powered, however, neither of them are automatic. So we'll roll that down, and I will pop the hood and show you. I will also turn on the headlights. Oh, we'll do the hazards too, I guess. And the brights. So, in this car, the brights are the inner two lights, and then the regular headlights are the front two, and there's the hazards. It's got a nice bassy sound. So I'll show you here. If I can find it left-handed, which is kind of difficult to do. Oh, there we go. This has the 3100 V6 engine, 3.1 liter. Now this engine does have two issues. One of them, so if you know the 3100s and the 3400s, they are infamous for intake manifold leaks, and they leak into the oil. There is one leak down there, and there is another leak on that side. You can see it down in there. So at some point, this car is going to need about $1,500 worth of work. However, it is not needed now, although it is due for an oil change, so it will get that. So that's the engine. You can see how clean it is. It's got hood struts. Chrome piece and a Chevy logo, which is attached. And of course, the fuel door, which you just open like that. Alright, I'm going to turn on the AC because it is hot in here. Climate controls are up here. Set it like that. And set it to AC, and then we will wait for it to get cold. Alright, so here's the steering wheel. It has pretty tight steering, as you can see, which is good for sporty driving. Actually, I'm going to just do windows because it is cooler outside. Door handle, like I said here, the doors are quite heavy because they're long, because it's a coupe. The lock button, door pocket storage. This is comfortable. Over here we have the stock. Down, of course, is the left turn signal. Up is the right turn signal. You do have to get used to, if you get one of these, the stock is very far back, and with my hand on the wheel, you really have to reach for it, but you get used to it. Brights, like I said, you just pull up like that. The cruise control is here. It does work. The wipers, which you turn, they sit there, or you can go fast. Then they hide down like in a GM car. Then to wash it, you push this portion of the stock back. The washer fluid, I believe, actually comes out of the windshield wipers themselves, or the motors. Let's try that one more time. No, it doesn't. I don't think. I don't know. It looks like it, but I don't think it does. So one thing you'll notice about this car, the mirrors are absolutely tiny. I mean, they are microscopic, including the rear view mirror. It's very small. This is a little mobile that was in my dad's car when I was a kid, and it reminds me of being a kid, so we put it in here, even though the one green fish is missing. Headlight controls are here. This is to dim the gauge cluster lights, which you can see dims on the radio. Keep it about in the middle. Parking lights off. Vent. Storage. Parking brake is a foot pedal. Push. Oop, there we go. And release. That releases the trunk. Cubby, like I said. Climate controls are very simple to operate. It's single zone. Some of the Luminas you could get dual, but this one is not. Very simple zone adjustment, AC, max, both, upper, lower defrost, defrost, and you push for the rear defrost. 2 vents in the middle that you can move in all sorts of different directions or close. The mirror has map lights under it. I didn't mention that. They come on with the door as well as the dome light. The headliner is absolutely immaculate. There is not a single scratch, tear, anything in it. The visors, which you can see a tiny little mirror, which is funny because the visor on this side, the mirror is much bigger and it actually has lights. So that's kind of funny. And yeah, you can move them to the side. Can't pull them out though. You can't really extend them. But yeah, there is a mirror here. And the funny part, it blocks your entire view. They did good when they designed this car. Definitely not cheap at all. The steering wheel you can adjust by pulling this, which is going to be hard to show with one hand. Here it is all the way up. I'm going to set this on my lap and see if I can demonstrate it. You pull forward and then you can adjust the height up or down. I tend to keep it there. Actually, I'm going to lower it a little. There we go. I'm not a fan of the way the steering wheel looks. It's kind of ugly, but it's alright. Here's the radio. It's a very simple to operate radio. Turn it on. Tune, you can push in like that. Let's go to... I don't want to do this because I'll get a copyright claim. But you can see how easy it is to operate. You got presets, which are set from the previous owner. Here, the bass. There you go. I'm not sure what this is. Someone who knows these Delco radios, you could probably tell me. I'm not sure what that is. You got Sting. I'm turning that off. You got Seek, recall track. This is the equalizer, tone, hour, minute for the clock. AM, FM. You got a CD player, no tape player. What's funny is that there is no aux jack in this car that I know of, and it says aux, so that's great. Obviously, if you turn it on and hit CD, it's not going to do anything because there's no CD, but it will play the CD. That's actually a CD storage holder right there. So it has a center console and it has a floor shifter. I know, I hate them. I wish it was a column shifter like the Luminas had. Yeah, there's the hazard light buttons, but unfortunately, it's a floor shifter. But it's a nice floor shifter, and I'll learn to live with it. It's a 4-speed automatic with overdrive. There's the pedals. This car does have ABS. Brake pedal down. I'll demonstrate it. Reverse. Neutral. Drive. This is actually overdrive, and then drive is one down. However, the manual actually says to use overdrive as your drive. Drive. 2. And 1. There's drive again. You can see it says apply brake to shift from park. But even though it's a floor shifter, listen to the button. I mean, you don't get that in newer cars. And when you go to shift it into gear, it really feels like you're shifting. Like, it doesn't feel like my mom's car where it's chintzy and computerized. This actually shifts the transmission. It does block the CDs, though, but when it's in drive, it doesn't really matter. We have a cigarette lighter or power outlet, and this, I believe, works, although I have not tested it yet. Monte Carlo. Right here's the glove box. You can see right here is the manual in immaculate shape along with the window sticker. It's interesting they didn't use the same one from the Lumina because it's basically the same car. My Costco thing from when I got my tires done. And a CD of the car. Isn't that cool? There's a light in there, but it's hard to see in the daytime. Oops. There we go. And the glove box is locking as well. One cup holder throughout the entire car. I'm not kidding, that's the only one. and an ashtray. This is the only interior piece that's kind of broken. It's, oh, well, it's not going to, there it goes. It's kind of stuck. And then the ashtray, which, I don't know if the car was actually smoked in, but there is sand in there, so I have to wonder. I keep that closed. It kind of smells like cigarettes, but it's not bad, per se. The mirror you can dim if you want to. And that's really all there is to show. I guess I'll give it a couple revs for you. Sounds really good when you rev it. I mean, the 3100 engines, they have a really bassy sound that the 3800s don't have. So yeah. And then this is the mirror control, which is funny because there's no off position. It's on or off, or it's passenger or driver. Roll up the windows. Open the door. And yeah, let's shut it off. I'll show you the back seat. So, like I said, you just move this forward, and there's your access to the back. And yeah, I'll climb in here because someone's going to want to see it. There you go. Move it back. I sit all the way back, so it's pretty uncomfortable, but if you sit forward like a normal person, it's fine. The seatbelt does come very far back for the front, and it's not adjustable. There are coat hooks, rear window. You can see up there. Dome light, view from the inside, an ashtray, ugh, the leather seats. This is like a little armrest divider thing. You can seat 3 people back here, but it's not that comfortable. There's a lap belt, and you can also pull this and get access to the trunk, and you can do that on both sides. There are seat back pockets as well. Okay, and you can see how clean the floor mats are. They're incredibly clean. Oh boy. See, it's fun tripping over seat belts because you have a coupe, but I like the way they look. The retractor is a little slow, but it's not unsafe. I mean, it'll lock up if you pull. You can do each side individually, and it brings that down with it, but it's more just there if you need to actually take something with you. And then you can push this to get back out, but it doesn't really matter. And also, one thing I forgot to show is the center console, which is just basically a little lid, but it's there if you want an armrest, which is funny because it's too far over for the driver to use. Of course, you can use the key switch, the button inside, or the trunk release on the remote. We'll just use the remote. Hold it down, and it opens. It's a little squeaky, and yeah, this is a little faded. And here's the trunk. Cargo net, which you can take off. The donut is under there. But it's a pretty spacious trunk. There's a light bulb. This rear tail light, or part of it at least, is out, so I'm going to have to replace that. And yeah, the carpeting back here is a little cheap. But, oh well. Bumper. And there is no release, so you could kidnap someone back here if you wanted to. Antenna. Monte Carlo. And the other side, which has a keyhole. The doors are big on this. This car is 200 inches long, and a Suburban is only 224, so it's not that much shorter. I don't know what I'm going to name this car yet. I was thinking something like the Big Red Whale, but I don't know. That's what the cockpit looks like. Shifter. The whole center console is tilted upwards. Like I said, if you desire, you can lock the glove box, but I don't need to. Monte Carlo. That's cool. And yeah, basically all there is to show. There's the airbag. You want to see a cool trait of this car, or quality cost-cutting thing? Oh yeah, the fuse box is right here, which is kind of an odd placement for it, but there's your fuses. Not under the dash or on the driver's side, it's over here. Cost-cutting. you can see right through to the pedals. Reason is, this car was based off of the Lumina, and the Lumina had a column shifter, which I much preferred. In fact, I was going to get a Lumina if I could find one in good shape. However, the Monte Carlos and the Lumina LTZs had center consoles, but they were so cheap that they didn't make it go all the way back. And yes, if you had a bench seat, you could seat 6 people, but these have bucket seats. Oh yeah, one thing to show you that's worth noting. This panel is coming off. I need to tack it down with something, but you can see that's how it was when I got it. And there's seat back pockets. So yeah, that's basically it. All of one cup holder and the interior of my car. And since somebody's gonna ask, I'll show you how to do the remote start. Here's the fob, have the car locked, and then hit the button with the star twice. And then it started. Now I'm going to show you something. Watch this. So right now, it's remote started. Nothing on the interior's on. I'm going to show you something though. You cannot just drive off with this. Watch. When I put my foot on the brake pedal, it dies. Now I'll show you one more thing. It's locked right now. We're going to remote start it one more time. Okay, now that it's started, I'm going to show you what you actually do. Unlock it, get in without hitting the brake, then what you do, key, now everything is on. Now you can drive. So that's it. That is the official tour of my new car. And since I know everyone wants to see it, let's get some driving footage. Alright, let's do some driving. there you go. That is a tour of my first car, the 95 Chevy Monte Carlo. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see, and follow me on the web, wix.com/theelevatorworld/fans. Bye-bye.